there's no like quotations around it. It goes back to the players. Yeah.
Well, like even in Texas, you have poker house.
And you guys, you have to let me win. This is my birthday night.
It's your birthday?
On Friday.
Yeah,
It's my birthday
yeah,
night.
your birthday.
Everybody's phones up there.
Oh, yeah.
If all in like,
Guys, make sure, I know most of you all have played on the live stream. If not, we can put our phones up here on the counter. No smartphones, please. Yeah, you can get up and take a photo with.
We want to welcome everyone to DJ's game, the $300 max buy-in Wednesday night game. Will be with you very shortly. The game should be getting started any minute. Again, thanks for tuning into Poker House Fort Worth and DJ's game every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. $1, $2, $300 max buy-in.
she's in everything.
Seema
The
played,
lady over here.
Seema played great. She's got unlucky in the ace not flush, but two count flush.
And aces cracked.
But she did
Good? You got 3 hours?
I'm good, I'm
the
good.
board, she coordinated all those cards and this and this, and she's like, you're no bet on the river. Seema called those threes and he was good. Wow. It was a big call. It was a good call.
Bump up starter.
Last night was my first one. Are we ready to go or waiting?
Lorenzo will let you know.
Yeah.
My YouTube stream share.
We're gonna start with a round pot, $5. Let's go. We're ready to go.
Ready, let's go guys. Good luck everybody. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Everybody in the front?
Well, actually, you bet, so it's 40.
Oh, it's 40. Oh, you're right.
Wait, one thing to protect, sir.
Right, I quit this race.
I know.
I'm not a director.
You gonna come down and play, though?
We want to welcome everyone to Poker House Fort Worth. We're going to have the graphics and the commentary up with you shortly.
Y'all meant like mid fortune. Y'all literally meant fortune. That's what they call it. Yeah. That is three sets of yeah. Oh, wow. Smaller and that's massive. You don't want anyone hitting hearts. They have a chip inside? Yeah, that's what's big.
So if we continue the game after the stream,
So they're in their conversation.
We have the graphics coming up shortly. My name is Reese. I am with you all the way here for DJ's game. This is the Wednesday night 1-2 no limit hold'em $300 max buy-in game. I see we already have quite a few watching the stream tonight. Be sure and let us know in the chat who you're going for, who you are tuning in to see, and rooting on for this live stream. Let us know in the chat where you are watching from.
twice? So you're behind. We'll go twice.
DJ there offering to run it twice there with Nick. Not real sure. Yeah, Nickelodeon is what he got his screen name on. DJ is going to be in bad shape, but they did offer to run it twice. No help to DJ, so Nick going to get a quick double up here courtesy of DJ. As he counts out the chips there. DJ begins the roller coaster as per his usual here on his namesake game.
It was. I'm adding on. That's it.
So good double up early there for Nick.
Nick, I know we're going to keep
Yeah, sir. Thanks, man. You too. You too.
A few new faces on the stream today on this Wednesday. And a few old faces with new names on the stream, so I'll have to figure out what they want to be called. Richard in the 2-seat there folds to Brian's going to come along with the 4 deuce suited East. New to me on the stream. Also calls 2. DJ going to raise it up, punishing the limpers. Allen going to call with his ace 7 offsuit. And Dummy D, yes, you wanted me to call him Dummy D. Daryl in the 9 seat, as you all know and love him before. Dummy D was apparently his pool name. and he played pool back in his younger days. Quite the pool shark, from what I understand. Four deuce, queen ace, DJ flopping the top on the flop, Brian flopping 2 pair. Not slow playing it here. Going to go ahead and make a bet here. See if DJ slows down, giving him credit for that ace. Does not, makes that call. So DJ looking for a 7 or another queen or an ace. Does not get it. So Brian can be best here with the flopped 2 pair. And I don't know if he's going to bet enough here. Oh, yep, he did. He was reaching, and DJ said that's good enough. So Brian's going to take down that pot. So DJ not off to a hot start, but he is off to a start, and that guy usually rides the roller coaster of the ups and downs of his stream. So don't look for him to not be involved, because he's going to be chasing whatever he is currently down at the moment. After that, double up to Nick, courtesy of TJ, and then handing Brian some chips there on that pot. He'll definitely keep getting it in there to try to get some of those chips back. East, new to the stream in the 4 seat, ace queen offsuit, just limping in for 2. Clay is going to raise it up to 10 with his 8 and 9 suited, called by Nick up with the 7-5. Allen calling the 7 deuce, but I believe they have the 7 deuce game on there, so we will see if he can pull out a win here with the 7 deuce and get that extra $5 from every other player. And WD just going to limp in with his jacks. So we're going to have quite a few people going to this pot here. No, East actually 3-bet it to 25, so there's a limp raise, and it's still called by everybody. So that's why I didn't notice anything different, is the graphics were staying the same. In for 2, in for 25, just the same. King, deuce, 10, 2 diamonds on this flop. Clay's going to flop himself a flush draw. And Petro going to be a top pair queen kicker. Going to be currently in the lead on this hand. East is going to continue his aggression, betting 25 with his gut shot. Unfortunately, 2 of his gut shots are in the hand of Dummy D. So he's got less outs than he thinks. Clay makes the call for 25 with his flush draw. And Petro also comes along with his top pair. Off to the turn, an unhelpful 3 of clubs. Doesn't change anything for anyone's holdings. Pot might be big enough for these gentlemen now, which it is, so they're going to check around on this turn. This river brings a queen, so that's going to be 2 pair for Petro, and East makes a queen on the river, who thinks it might be good after the king had checked through. He is reaching for chips here, quite a stack. Looks like at least could be 100. Clay having to let his diamond draw go that was missed, but Petro is not going to be folding here. He's definitely going to minimum call, and that's what he does, just in case that East has Broadway. And so Petro going to take down that pretty sizable pot. Really a big pot early here on the game. Once again, welcome everybody to Poker House Fort Worth. This is the DJ's game, Wednesday nights, 1-2, $300 max buy-in. Little reloads have already been coming. Does not take long for this game to get off the ground. DJ's game is a lot of action, a lot of fun, but at the same time, it is affordable action and fun. These guys can only buy in for $300. That's the maximum you can buy in for. So if you think you'd like to play in this game, we have 1 or 2 guys on the waiting list if people bust out and do not wish to re-enter. But the night is young, so feel free to come on down to Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson, Texas, just south of Fort Worth, and get on the list for this DJ's game. Maybe hop on stream because we're going to be with you for the next 2.5 hours, streaming right here on YouTube and on Facebook. East going to limp in with pocket threes for $2. Clay is going to raise it up to 12 with his Jack 10. Right behind him, the big stack courtesy of DJ Early. Nickelodeon going to 3-bet to 45 with his pocket queens. So Richard has ace king offsuit, may come along, which looks like he is counting out some calling chips there. Does make that call. East, pocket threes could play a spoiler there, but he does decide to let it go. Does Clay want to continue on? Wasn't that much of a raise off of his, but he is going to let it go. So we're going to go ace king versus pocket queens here. Heads up. Richard at a position at first one to act does flop the ace right off the bat. And so Nickelodeon here is going to have to see where he is at. We got Otis. Now, I know they call you Detroit, but are you actually in Detroit right now? Because I know you've been around here lately. Mr. Otis, good to see you in the stream rooting on Clay. Yeah, Nick put out a feeler bet there. Richard goes ahead and snaps it all in, and Nick has no choice but to let that go with the ace facing right in front of him. Nickelodeon now goes from pocket queens to pocket aces, raises it up to 17. It looks like not too bad there. See if he has any takers. Dummy's going to come along with the 9-7 offsuit. Petro lets his hand go. Richard with the 9-8 suited. Definitely a hand that can crack some aces. So 3 ways to a flop. See if Nick's pocket aces can hold up. Queen, King 10. A very connected, juicy flop. It's got 2 clubs there, so Richard's going to have the gut shot to the jack straight, any club. 9-7 still comes along. Dummy D with some backdoor outs, I suppose. We'll see if he's trying to get crafty. The jack does get there for Richard, so he has the bottom end of the straight, but Nickelodeon, obviously with the pocket aces, does have the nut straight. So Richard here now looking for a club and only a club. Dummy has the bottom end of the straight. Otis, glad to hear that you made it back to Detroit. Can't wait till you come back down here to visit with us. Gave me a hard time about remembering his name, but if you met Otis, you'd remember it. Good guy. Richard here thinking long and hard about those clubs. 70 into a pot of about 120, be 198 counting the $70 bet. So he's getting almost, not quite 3-1 on a call. I don't hate a fold or a call, but it looks like he's going to go ahead and gamble a little bit here and make this call. Richard looking for a club. Nickelodeon's pocket aces are going to hold. Club does not make it there. Now, if for some reason Richard can think that the bottom end of the straight is good here, if it just doesn't put Nick on an ace, Although he did raise it up pre-flop, but not a whole lot. He could have a pocket pair. He could even have tens or jacks. Nickelodeon here might think he could be chopping it. So he goes ahead and rips it all in. Try to push anything else away that doesn't have an ace. But that's going to be enough for Richard. So not the quite a kind of a hand you want to make when you're holding pocket aces, but big enough to win that $469 pot. So that's going to have Nick sitting pretty healthy early here in DJ's game.
I'm back at 300.
Alan in the 8th seat. I don't know if I know Alan or not from other streams. He's going to raise this up with ace 8 offsuit. Called a few times around the table, and DJ is going to squeeze with the best hand he could hope to look down and see in a very squeezable position. Not only to take out these $15 limpers, but to collect an additional $5 from every person in equity. Neither Brian nor Petro are going to call here with that $300 bet. So DJ playing the 7 deuce game here. There he just says it. Everybody at the table, give me $5. So picks up those limped in 15s and an additional $5 from everybody at the table. Quite profitable venture there for 7 deuce. And I don't think he did that just because it was 7 deuce. That was just a squeeze spot. And we were talking just yesterday about how that's one of his favorite moves here on stream is you guys want to raise it up a little bit and just call it all around the table 4, 5, 6 ways for $10, $15. No. I'm just going to rip 200 plus into your face and we're going to flip for it all, or you're all going to give me the $10, $15 that you put in the middle, sacrificing to me. But luckily for him, he looked down at 7 deuce, so he even got an extra $5 in equity. It's always good to watch the first 10 or 15 hands of a stream to kind of see how people first start their game of the evening on stream, what kind of rhythm they're going to fall into, how they act on stream, what kind of stories they want to tell, kind of set their pace and see how it evolves throughout the stream as it goes. Right now, it seems pretty at par for the course. Nick getting all of the cards so far and definitely having quite the chip stack. Looks like it checked all the way around there on the flop, and all 3 players having an ace. East having the best kicker so far. So kind of an odd universal check on the flop. Looked like it was almost dark, and that card there isn't going to change anything, but it definitely changes the board. So we'll see who takes the aggressive stance on this one. Nope, it's just going to check around. So East is going to be best with his aces and tens with a queen kicker. That pot could have been bigger, but not much need for it.
That's 5 cards. You're all altering the board.
Oh, there is 2 5s out there. That's what Nick is saying. Nick's a dealer here at Poker House Fort Worth, just letting everybody know. It's harder from that side of the table, Nick. Don't let it get to you. Don't try to pay attention. Let Jenny handle it here. She's doing a great job. And for those that were confused there for a moment, ace 10 10 5 5 on the board, but aces and tens with the queen kicker. Aces and tens, not aces, fives, and tens with an ace. So Nick there confused momentarily, looking at a pocket fives now, not confused, going to raise it up to 15 under the gun. Dummy D just grabbing two barrels and putting it in the middle, and definitely the hand to do it with. Now, who here at the table could possibly sniff out that he is playing seven deuce this way? Oh, and what terrible timing for Dummy D as Clay wakes up with aces. Dummy D just trying to win himself a fun $5 seven deuce game, and Clay wakes up with aces. How unfortunate. Yep. Hear the table laugh it up. Unfortunate, but funny. They're going to run it twice for grins. See if this seven deuce, the worst hand in poker, can beat the best hand in poker. Doesn't look like it. Drawing dead on bottom board, and aces are going to hold. So Dummy D, Mr. Darrell, sick timing, brother. It would have been funny. It would have worked 99 times out of 100, but the aces wake up with Mr. Clay. Clay, after those pocket aces, picking up queen, jack of diamonds, raises it up 15. Dummy D getting it right back in the saddle with ace king on his fresh new buy-in of 300 on that misstep with the seven deuce. Clay going to continue the aggression here, betting out 20 on this flop, and not a single believer here. Richard is actually in the lead with his seven deuce. The third heart does come out as a scare. Now, if Richard here really wants to win with seven deuce, he can represent the flush here. Dummy D bet 40. It's going to be really hard for Richard to do it. So, valiant effort trying to win with the seven deuce, and nice float there by Darrell and catching the king on the turn to take the lead in that hand. Petro, the current leader there, followed by Clay after that unfortunate gift from Dummy D, trying to make a play with the seven deuce, and Clay waking up with pocket aces. Like I said, tough timing, but gosh, it would have been funny. See Mr. Darrell win the 7 deuce game would have been fantastic. Quite a few people watching on Facebook and YouTube. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Allen going to have best on this hand here. Clay's going to come along with the gut shot. These newfound chips, wants to put them to work, gamble a little bit, and be immediately rewarded with the wheel. Allen going to continue the bet here, and Clay, does he announce himself here or just go ahead and make the smooth call? Looks like he's acting like he's thinking about something long and hard, even though he's not. So the smooth call does be the route he wants to choose, and that is a fantastic route here. Allen cannot really put in on much of anything. Let's see if Allen here fires out another bullet. He does stack up some chips. Pretty healthy bet. Looks like 40, 30 or 40. It is 40. Clay probably going to raise this up here. It just depends on how much. Clay is new to the stream. I'm sorry, Clay and Allen are both technically new to the stream, but Allen is definitely new to stream. So I don't know what he's going to be doing here when Clay raises, which he does. Looks like a full barrel of 100 there, maybe a little bit more. And he just ships him over the chips. So Allen not afraid to look someone up here. Allen showing no fear, saying, prove it. And so he paid for the $125 education cost there, showing that Clay did in fact call with that gutter on the turn and immediately got there, as sometimes happens. So Jed is in Abilene. I drive through Abilene every time I go to the other rooms or go home. I know Abilene well. That's my stomping grounds. And Zach in the chat had to work tonight. I was wondering, Zach, wonder why you weren't here on DJ's game. Zach, usually a part of the lineup. You too can be a part of this lineup. All you have to do is sign up here at Poker House Fort Worth every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can sign up anytime during the week. I'm just trying to be here and on this live stream every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The $1, $2, no limit, $300 max buy-in DJ's game. It's a lot of fun, quite a roller coaster of a game, as you can see, but it's definitely affordable, a lot of fun, and it does go beyond the stream. So even if you don't get on the stream, you can still join us here at Poker House Fort Worth and get in on the game that continues on, even when the cameras turn off. A bunch of limping going around and some strong hands to be limping with. Nope. Looks like Dummy might have raised it up just a little bit there to 5, 7. So let's see if anybody takes any opportunity here to increase the size of this pot with these holdings. No, they don't. So we're going to go too many ways to the flop for $7 a piece. 6-4 suited, 8-6 suited, King Jack, Ace King. Lots of interesting hands out there in the field. 5-9-3, no help to any player. Open-ended for Allen. Nickelodeon has the gut shot, a couple of running diamond hopes. It's going to check on through an 8 on the turn. It's going to make open-ended for, somebody had 10-7. I saw that. Brian had a set of 3s. There's just so many graphics on the screen I couldn't tell. So he's going to announce himself now betting 30 on his bottom set. East, who turned now open-ended, may have to make this call, gamble a little bit on a very rainbow board, drawing at the nuts almost either way. Clay going to let his ace 6 go. Nickelodeon, Yeah, you got to lay it down. Doesn't quite connect as good as it looks. So we're going to be narrowed down the field to two, a set of threes versus the open ender looking for a jack or a six. Does not get there. So the pair of tens might actually cost East a little bit of money as he could call off a bet, but Brian's not going to make it with the straight cards getting out there. So lots of threes there for Brian. And as you hear Jenny calling out the flopped set, that is one of the criteria for our fortune jackpot. That's right, the fortune jackpot. What that is in a 4-hour window that we have set here at Poker House Fort Worth. It resets a few times a day, but within a 4-hour window, you're trying to make 4 poker hands. You're trying to make an ace high flush, a straight, a full house, and as you saw her yell out right there, a flopped set. So if you can make all 4 of those hands within that 4-hour window, you win whatever the progressive jackpot is. And I honestly can't tell you what it's up to right now. I want to say it's pretty high up there. I'll have to look whenever I head out to the floor here in a second to address one of the one issue out on the floor. But we'll get what that jackpot is. But the flopped set is one of the criteria, and that's why the dealer called that out. DJ finally waking up with a hand, ace queen offsuit, going to raise it up to 16. Petro, nice, pretty suited connectors, 8-7 going to come along with the call. Richard in the 2-seat, 9-5 suited, goes ahead and decides to defend the $2 he already had out there. So Richard, DJ, and Petro all headed to a flop. DJ probably not used to playing such good cards post-flop, but he does take the lead in this hand, having the second pair on a 10 Queen King board. Checks around to a 3 on the turn. No help still to Petro or Richard. Gut shots all around. No missing the gut shots all the way around. DJ's going to go ahead and make a small bet to see where he's at. Finds out he is way in the lead and takes down that pot. Dealer Ginny in the box, putting out hand number 16. This 1-2 DJ's game. If you missed it last night, we had our first ever ladies cash game. A ladies only cash game we streamed here on YouTube and Facebook. Everybody had a fantastic time. It was a great stream, good poker. Everyone was laughing, having a good time. We're going to do it again. It's going to be on the 21st, July 21st. So if you happen to be a lady and you'd like to get in on that ladies cash game, you can sign up at Poker House Fort Worth for the ladies cash game live stream. That's going to be Sunday, July 21st. Richard and Allen both holding Queen Jack, calling DJ's raise with the ace 9, 6, 7, 3, 2 diamonds. No help to any player on this flop. DJ going to keep up the aggression, betting 15. And a quick call there by Allen. Allen may be, he's floating with 2 overs there, but he's trying to get some of those chips back that he unfortunately had to give to Clay. And Allen going to look to keep DJ honest, making a quick call of that 15. Let's see if DJ keeps up the aggression. No, he doesn't. He's going to check it. He's going to check through behind. 6 on the river doesn't change anything. DJ's ace high going to be good, and he's going to get to show that down without any bet there. So it'll pick up there for DJ. And I'm going to turn up the table just a hair here, and I will step away from this for just a moment. Be right back with you shortly.
there was a lot of money on the table, that 5 by 6 I had it. It just took a long time to get there.
It just wasn't, they weren't punting it to you either. You just had it. You just had it. It was fun to watch. When it was straight over straight, I didn't really process it because it was.
Well, and the thing on that hand was the 7 they got that burn. The 7 came on the turn.
Glad you found it. I didn't even process it was an all in. It was bang bang.
Yeah, it was. Because I bet he made it 100 and I shoved and it snapped. That's the quickest I've ever seen anybody hit a poker.
Yeah. That's perfect too. I didn't have to shove any chips over. He just did the work for me.
The big one was the full house where he bought 494 and I turned it to 5.
Carlos dealt that one. Because he was sun running before that.
Yes, he was. Exactly. And I think he was.
Yeah. Never getting through.
Straddle.
Right on the straddle.
Let's give you 7 deuce.
We want to welcome everyone for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth. DJ's game Wednesday nights from 7 to 10, $1, $2, no limit. Texas Hold'em with a $300 max buy-in. Catching it back up to this hand here. Looks like East and Allen both having an ace with 2 kings on the board and 10 kickers, so a chopped pot between these two. Brian here trying to fish for a diamond on the river to take it away from him. 6 of hearts doesn't help him, so it's going to be a chop pot unless someone folds between East and Allen. Check there from Brian. See how much East can bet here. Looks like he's going to bet 35. And Allen's going to let that one go. So good bet there by East. There's just too much else out there that beats Allen in that hand. So he decides to save 35 on that hand in aggression for East. Picks up that pot. Hand number 19. Clay, Petro, Nick still well into the black on some pretty big pots. It's a $300 buy-in. East has rebought a little bit, even though he's over 300. He's still down about $1.50. And Allen, unfortunately, the one deepest in the hole, got caught by the gut shot made by Clay and had to make a crying call on that river. Petro and Allen both calling it the $2 big blind. Comes around to Brian on the button. Lets it go. East, king, queen suited. Looks like he's bringing some raising chips to the party. Going to make it 16 to go. DJ looks at an ace and doesn't matter what the other card is, calls the 16. Petro completes with the ace-8, and Allen calls with the 10-7 suited of diamonds. So hopefully some diamonds to stay away for Allen's sake. Otherwise, it's going to be a big pot there for East. But no diamonds to be found, but the flop is king high with East taking the lead on this hand. Not much else for anyone else, but it does check through. Deuce of spades on the turn doesn't change anything. Gives DJ a bottom pair, actually, but might seem like good enough for him. And it appears so as he snap calls the $30 bet from East. But East's hand is pretty masked here. Looks like it went check, check. DJ just went ahead and turned his cards over to try to realize some equity. But East definitely had a disguised hand there. I don't think DJ was going to be calling much after that turn bet anyway.
I remember, yeah, someone had king, someone had ace jack.
Hand number 20. A lot of action for only 20 hands. Feels like we've definitely had some more with some of the chips that have been swinging around this table. Allen going to be a +1, going to lead out here for $20 with the ace-queen offsuit. Daryl, who has climbed a little bit back out of the hole, he dug himself with that 7 deuce. Let's go of his suited ace. Richard calling 20 with queen, jack, suited of diamonds. Clay waking up with pocket 9s. Going to 3-bet here, a healthy 3-bet, looks like to 65. Not a bad 3-bet considering the 20s that are already all out there. Allen going to come along. Richard, boy, it's hard to call a 3-bet and a flat with queen, jack, suited of diamonds, but he's only got 111 left, so he's going to go ahead and commit it the rest of the way, and I do love that play. You might as well just let it ride. No sense in calling for a third or a little better of a third of your stack. Go ahead and get it in there. Try to get everyone committed. Get you a good quadruple up or rebuy one way or another. Obviously, it's going to get DJ out of the way unless he's just dying for some action, which he does fold. And Clay's obviously going to have to call. He's the one that started the action, and Allen won't be going anywhere as well as he's going to commit the rest of his stack as well. So Richard looking for diamonds. He is in pretty rough shape with his queen jack against the ace queen of Allen. Clay obviously in the lead with his pocket 9s, and 2 opponents sharing one of the overcards does help his cause. So Clay here standing to make another pretty big pot and jump out on this stream with a pretty sizable chip lead if his 9s can hold. There's going to be a little bit of a side pot between Richard and Clay. Well, it looks like Allen and Clay are going to have the side pot. See how many times they might elect to run this out. Letting Jenny catch Lorenzo in the control booth up on the action. Does a fantastic job for us here at Poker House Fort Worth. Give that a moment. There's the side pot made there by Clay. So So 3 ways all in. Good size pot. $600 all together. Ace Queen, pocket nines, and Queen Jack. Off to a flop of 8, 7 King. 6 on the turn. Open-ended for Clay. Doesn't need it. And the nines are going to hold in a pretty sizable pot there. So Clay going to take a commanding chip lead at the table pretty early here in the 1-2 game.
If it's 3 ways, can you run it? Yeah. You can? I was experiencing value. As long as everyone's all in.
Actually, I take it back, 'cause I'm not sure what the system is.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do it.
In the normal game,
Yeah.
you know, probably not.
Okay, that's something. It's always one time. You gotta be. Well, no, it's just gotta has to be heads up. Right? To go twice.
You go twice because they can't shuffle the chips on the computer that way. Like it's ordered or whatever.
I think fives. I folded fives. I'm gonna.
He folded 9.
I folded 8-5. Oh, I folded 5. He had 2, he had 1.
That's for
9-5. Sometimes that feeling is a lot.
Sometimes it gets.
Sometimes it's the worst. Then it gets you turned on.
That's right, Otis. We were rooting for Clay, and he is on quite the sun run. Almost a triple up here on his $300 buy-in. See how he lets that ride out the evening. Looks like Allen rebought back in for his 300. Do not blame him one bit. Lots of action, lots of chips on the table, and he's been playing well. So no reason not to reload and fire again. Now a little reload there by C2 as well. Nickelodeon finally finding something to play for $2. The 8-6 offsuit. $10-3 deuce, all clubs here. Only Clay has a club in his hand, but it's only a 9, so he's not going to be getting too excited about that card. If another club does peel out, which it does not, it is a Jack of Hearts, giving Petro still the second pair now. East has bottom pair. Clay with a gut shot does probably let this go. But he's called for a gut shot before and got there, but he's not feeling it this time. So Petro going to pick up that little decent sized pot considering. No, it looks like the graphics have fooled me once again. There was a fifth person on that flop. Looks like DJ's money. Looks like he raised it up with a mystery hand. Does not show. So unfortunately that does happen on stream once in a while. We lose some of the graphics. But you can still see the DJ is stacking chips, and it's in his due. He hasn't had himself a good winner since the 7 deuce. Dummy D, Mr. Darrell looking down at pocket 7s, decides to just limp in along. Petro calling $2 with his ace 4 of diamonds. Everybody so far calling the $2. DJ, who would normally probably raise this up, decides that something is better waiting off the poker table. Probably getting him another refreshment. So 6 ways to the flop. Pocket 7's currently in the lead. Not much else to speak of out in the field other than that. Ace 6 Queen. Second pair for East. I think there was a suited ace out there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Petro, he's got the ace 4 of diamonds. Richard, making bottom pair, decides it could be good enough for $12 to come along in. East does make the call with his second pair. Nothing much for Clay or Allen, and say let those holdings go. And so top pair, middle pair, and bottom pair all still left here in this pot. See if anyone can improve their holdings. 3 on the turn. Doesn't help anyone. Petro is still the first one to act with the ace. Still being pretty cautious on this. Not large bet, 22 into a $55 pot. Don't know if he's going to get paid, though, by East. He's that dry of a board, those moderate bets, just kind of feels like he's being strung along, possibly. Pretty obvious ace in the hole there for Petro.
I'll talk to y'all. What's up? Nobody say nothing to them. I'll say what's up.
Hand number 23. Richard coming in with Queen 10 offsuit for $2. East decides to do the same with his King 5 offsuit. Nickelodeon decided not to play his button with 9 deuce offsuit folds. Allen's going to call the 2, and Dummy D going to check his option with Jack 6. Flop comes out Ace, Ace, King. Not the flop that 4 limpers are looking for necessarily. East has the best with his King. Decides to check it around. A third ace on the board. So now, barring anyone have an ace, East has the effective nuts. Looks like he did bet $10 there. And it's going to be a bunch of quick folds, and we're going to go to a river as soon as the graphics catch up there. Richard going to call with the Queen 10. You know, if there's not a king in play, he's got the nuts with the Queen high. East not going to pay off any more aces, no more quads. Going to show that king going to be good enough to pick up that $28 pot. Probably got max value. And while Jenny is getting the cards together for the next hand, I want to show you guys the promotional poster of the $20,000 Point Series free roll. That's right, a $20,000 free roll on October 12th and 13th. The only way to get into this tournament is to get in the top 15% of one of our qualifiers. The one of 3 qualifiers. August 3rd is the first qualifier. And the information you need on this qualifier is you get to build your own chip stack. You get to build your own chip stack to try to play to get in the top 15% on August 3rd. Playing in the cash games, playing in the tournaments. There's multiple ways to win chips to build up a sizable chip stack on August 3rd to give yourself the best chance possible to get in that top 15% and punch your ticket into that $20,000 free roll. It's going to be a monster tournament. There's only 3 chances to get into that thing. You have to get in the top 15% of one of the 3 qualifiers. and they're going to be at the end or at the beginning of every single month. So for the month of July, you're building chips for the August 3rd. For the month of August, you're building up stack for the September early qualifier. So only 3 qualifiers, 3 chances to get into that $20,000 free roll in October. So very, very excited about that. Like I said, just by playing here at Poker House Fort Worth, you're earning chips. Trying to get as many as you can to give yourself the best shot possible at that 15%. We won't even play down to a winner. We're going to play down to 15% of the field. And then the tournament is over. And they have qualified for the $20,000 free roll tournament in October. DJ going to turn a set of kings, which will be the nuts on the top board. Petro does have, did see a 10, maybe an 8 in his hand. No. So DJ's gonna scoop this one here. Petro not really having much of anything on the bottom board either. He was kind of playing, well, I'm not real sure what he was looking at, but he was on a draw either way, and DJ is going to pick up the bomb pot. Difficult to scoop a bomb pot, and he just did it. And I was speaking a little bit about that $20,000 free roll, the lunchtime free rolls. Every day at noon, we have a $500 guaranteed lunchtime free roll. This is one of the tournaments that you can enter and get chips for that monthly qualifier. So not only can you enjoy a daily 500 lunchtime free roll starting at noon, every entry, every re-entry, every add-on, all earns you chips to go towards that qualifier on August 3rd. When you play in the cash games, we're giving away high hands every hour where you spin a wheel and earn some more chips. So like I said, playing at all here at Poker House Fort Worth gives you a chance to get chips to be put into that qualifier and get in that top 15%.
Hey, you know what they use? I've seen those use like a small little thing. Like a scratcher. Yeah. You know, I was playing last night. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Was it the Asian lady before?
No, I was at law school. Ooh, where's that?
One of the show black people.
Lots of people to this flop of ace-10 tray. Brian with an ace can lead out here for $10. Richard with bottom pair. Dummy comes along with the queen 5. Some hopes of maybe stealing this away. East also makes the call with the middle pair of 10s. Another ace on the turn strengthens Brian's hand and could effectively end the hand here if he chooses to continue the aggression, which he does. And don't hate it. You got to try to get paid. But I just don't see any reason for East to come along. But he does come along. He says that, let's see if you really have that ace, buddy. So East drawing dead on the hand and picks up a tough card there on the river. That jack on the river may cost him this $20 here because he now has the best pair again over the 10 if Brian doesn't have that ace. But if I'm East, Brian just doesn't look like a guy that's bluffing. He may make a crying call there, though. He has the chips in hand, and he does. So he's going to pay for an education for the rest of the table that I think deep down he knew he didn't need, but pays the last bet of 20 just to verify that Brian had that third ace. Quite a few people in the chats, Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth. for the $1, $2, $300 max buy-in DJ's game, the Wednesday night 7 to 10 o'clock game on stream. The game does go much longer than that. So if you are listening and or watching near the Fort Worth area, this game does go on beyond the stream. We're not even really halfway through the stream, but you can still get in on the action. We have an outer table. I think they were close to putting together another table out on the floor, but pretty good action here on a Wednesday night here at Poker House Fort Worth. And if you think you can play with these guys in a game like this, with this kind of action, you can always sign up to be a part of DJ's game. Sign up at Poker House Fort Worth. Again, just thank everyone for tuning in, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're rooting on. And we scheduled our next ladies game, but let us know if there's something else you'd like to see. Any other kind of game to stream and put together. All it takes is just a little bit of help on our part to try to find out who wants to play. So if you want to see some other games besides Hold'em, if you want to see some Omaha, we're going to start streaming some of our tournaments as well. So you can get in on the streams with our through our tournaments. DJ, who took the lead pre-flop pretty heavily, going to continue on the aggression on this flop, and it's probably going to work. So DJ getting tired of waiting around for a hand, decides to make his own fate and see if he can push this through. Richard with 2 overcards, backdoor, runner, hearts, or straight draw. But other than that, 75 is hard to call. It's a pot-sized bet, and it is going to get through. DJ shows the Jack Deuce offsuit, letting everybody know, hey, I can have any 2 cards at any time. I don't need to wait for them to come to me. I can play them like aces or the 7 deuce. You never know. He's going to get a little bit of his money back, taking a couple coolers early, having to make some payoffs to some of the people at the table. Clay is still your cash chip leader, a little over $800. Pedro right behind him with just shy of $600. Brian sneakily has raised up a stack of a little over $500. Nick still holding on to his early fortunes that he had. He's about 150 in the black. Had some really good hands early. They got paid. East, DJ, both going to call $2. Dummy's going to come along for 2 as well with pocket 4s. Pedro looks like he's going to be the one to raise it up on this one with the ace-10 offsuit. $23, a very pretty healthy raise. Brian's going to wake up with a real hand to get us into red flags to Pedro on that one as he calls the 23 with ace-queen offsuit. East had a good holding, limped in, so his hand is going to be pretty well disguised. Unfortunately, he's sharing a queen with Brian and being outkicked, but he does have the only king in the field. DJ is never going to fold for a real pot here. He's going to come along with the Jack-9, and Dummy D, Daryl, looking for a 4 on this flop to spoil anyone else's party. And Jenny gives the gin to DJ, flopping 2 pair. Unfortunately, not much else for anyone else. East does have a gut shot, and he's reaching for chips. This is a interesting play here. I like the play, but it's not going to work. DJ immediately rips it in, 373. No shot that anyone else is going to be calling here. So sort of a delayed squeeze here. Folds back over to East. 2 overs and a gut shot for $300. I don't think so. It's all of your chips. You've been playing well, been making good decisions. No reason to gamble now. So sit here, posture, get some camera time, make DJ think that you're really being put to the test. And it's not easy to push you around. And all the other things that you're thinking about whenever you've already mentally checked out of a hand. and just waiting to fold, and that's what he does. DJ throws his cards in the muck, taking down a pretty sizable pot, flopping 2 pair. And he showed it that time. So he's got to show the good hands with the bad hands, has to keep his range equalized with these players.
Oh my lord.
Whoever loses the hand got to take off a piece of clothing.
Oh, strip poker. What kind of hell is this game you're running over there? Yeah, Paul, how we didn't say that last night, huh?
He waited until the men's game.
Yeah,
to say that one.
I'm wondering about that. We've got a little action in it, huh? Oh, yeah. They can never get the mic figured out. You know me? I call it. I'll look at it.
If they can only do it when there's one, when it's the only one, what else they have that table play?
Well, because that table's bigger, wider, it's 7 for the cash table, and it has the box, so you drop $2. Yeah, they could physically lift it, yes, but no one wants to be by the bathroom.
That's true. That's true.
I haven't looked, so we'll see what happens. Still? No, I haven't looked. I probably need like a 6-9 cash flow. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah. But I got something right there.
Now we're set up here for an interesting confrontation. 9 deuce 4 with 2 spades. DJ on the flush draw. Not ever going to go anywhere on this hand. Clay continuing the aggression with his ace king. See if that keeps up here. It does not, so we're going to go to a river, which is a miss. But DJ is going to bet $2 to see if anyone can even call $2. Mr. Clay here reaching for chips, saying, I think I've seen this move before. And raises it up immediately, 230 with ace king, and does have the best hand. Pedro has to let his club or straight draw go there where he was hoping for, and DJ just shows the hand, lets it go, and pick up there from Clay. So the aggression does hold. Doesn't fold to the powerfully messaged $2 river bet from DJ there. He's going to raise this one up with the queen 10 suited. DJ looking down to the ace 7. Always going to come along. Calling the 16. Allen of the king 9. Richard is going to be priced in here with the king 6. So a couple kings. Suited queen 10. DJ ahead with the ace. And Jenny puts out a flop of 3, 4, 5. Could not miss harder on most of these guys. Richard does have an open-ended straight draw. It's going to check around to the turn. Another 4 on the turn. Nothing going still. Does anybody want to stab at the spot? There's $60 out there, boys. Y'all raised it up pre. Somebody take it up. There's an ace on the river, so now DJ is going to win. He'll never fold, so don't even try. But it looks like he's going to be the one to bet it out anyway. It's $2. And will his $2 bet actually work? No, he's going to get looked up. Richard's going to call his $2. DJ is going to win and say, I got an extra $2 out of you, Richard. How does that feel? Love it. Love it out of DJ. It's his game after all here on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m., $1 or $2. No limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in. Very affordable, but a lot of fun, and the chips do fly. They're not always $2 bets. They're not always at $2 bets. Sometimes they are much, much more, but it is a fun game regardless. It'll go on beyond the stream. If you're listening or watching from anywhere around the Fort Worth area and you can get here, the game does continue. We're going to be here for at least another hour and a half or so. We have plenty of time to come, get on the list, and sit down with these gentlemen and play some poker here on this Wednesday night.
Oh, on the river. Me too. It froze down there.
I was only at 25, so it's late out there.
So a little late on that hand there, but that fourth spade definitely saved DJ some money. Two pair over a bigger two pair. DJ turning two pair, and then East rivering a bigger two pair. With the fourth spade on the board, did halt the action as no one had a spade. Otherwise, that could have got a little bit pricey. Petro here coming along with the King Queen offsuit for $2. DJ looking at Queen Jack, good enough to raise it up to 12. Been a pretty tame game pre-flop here tonight. Not many. There's been some three betting, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, it's been a pretty standard 1-2 game. So 3 players to a flop, $12 apiece. King, Queen offsuit, 10-7 offsuit, and Queen, Jack offsuit. Continue putting out the Ace 9-5, whipping everyone flop. DJ going to keep up the aggression that he started pre-flop by betting 15, and it's probably going to work here, and it does. So a little pickup there by DJ. DJ really close to climbing out of the hole that he dug early on some crying hands, getting it all in, losing a little bit to Nick and a few others here at the table, but stays in the race, slowly building it back up. right about 100 down on the day, and that's it. The 7 deuce again for Dummy D, who stepped right in it with pocket aces last time he was trying to win the 7 deuce game. This time he just calls the 2. Going to look for a little better opening to try to win this pot with the 7 deuce. These players are playing the 7 deuce game. So if you win a hand at any point with 7 deuce, you get $5 additional from every single player. Extra $40 if you win with 7 deuce. DJ is going to raise it up with 7-4. Granted, that's not much better than 7 deuce, but it's good enough for DJ to raise with. Mixing it up here, and we're going to have 4 ways to a flop. 3, 4, 9. And I think that 7-4 is going to be best. No, Petro. Yep, yeah, it is going to be best. He's got the 4, so it's going to check all the way around here. No, I'm sorry, DJ did follow up the bet. So this is twice now that he has kept up the aggression, but this time he actually has a piece of it. Another 4 to lock up this hand for DJ. Continues on the aggression. Unfortunately, Pedro just doesn't have a 9 to come along and pay DJ on that hand. So very, very quickly, that's going to put DJ almost back to even. Almost back to even after the couple beats that he's taken tonight. Well done, sir.
I think it's spelled N-I-L-G-A. What is this?
It's a cow from Asia where they came from.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's an animal. Think like a walking manatee with
How do you spell it again?
N-I-L-G-A-I.
Petro going to come in for $2 with his 6-4 suited.
I thought it started with an E. I thought it was a guy. I don't know.
No other takers at the moment. 3 deuce with East. Did he raise it up to 5?
Oh, you're talking about the longer one?
No, he just called the 2. Clay calls it 2 as well, and Nick says enough of the limping. We're going to make this 15 to play with a king and jack offsuit. Dummy D, Daryl coming along with the ace 10 offsuit. Petro calls the 15 with his 6-4 suited. Absolutely should as well. Love it. Nice sneaky hand that not in many ranges of players. King, Queen, 3. So Dummy with the gut shot. Nickelodeon picks up top pair with the jack kicker. Petro not connected with this one, only has running flush or straight outs. WD not going to be swayed though by the $20 C bet there out of Nickelodeon. Looking for a jack to take over this hand, and what a jack it would be if it does come, because it'll give Nick a 2 pair. Instead, the turn is a queen, and then Dummy's going to lead out here. Dummy's going to lead out, and Nick's just going to call him. And another king on the river. So any story that Mr. Dummy D is going to tell here is not going to work anymore, as Nickelodeon has made the top vote. Dummy D leads out for 25, and we're going to see how much Nickelodeon is going to raise it here. Unfortunately, any amount he does raise it is not going to work, as Dummy does not have anything but ace high and probably won't look Nick up. Nick's never bluffing this position. So he does announce raise, and Dummy D lets it go. So valiant effort, sir. Definitely looked good on that turn bet to play the part of the queen, but any part played instantly taken down there by the River King there for Nick. East come along here with king at 10. DJ sees an ace and raises it up to 12. Clay who's been playing patient and good cards all night, is still being rewarded. Pocket Kings, 3 bets to 45. We see East has one of the kings in his hand, but don't think he's going to be coming along for 43 more. Does DJ want to give him any more? No, he does not. As Clay shows the kings, let everybody knows that he is still on that sun run, and the chip leader moving him over the $900 mark on his $300 buy-in. Good to see him running good and patiently playing and picking up cards every once in a while, just like every poker player dreams of. Nice and patient, let the cards come to you and get paid when they do. No coolers. And that has been his run so far. And let's hope there's not a commentator's curse on that. I like Mr. Clay. Jenny dealing out hand number 35 here on stream. We're a little over halfway through the stream. Lots of chips been flying around. Alan, unfortunately, the one that has taken the most beats here so far tonight, but plenty of time to get that back. WD right behind him as well. We're just barely in front of him, needing to make some moves. East tries to get into another cheap flop for $2 with 8 deuce suited. Not going to happen as DJ wakes up with king queen suited right behind him, raising it up to 18. And looks like it's just going to fold around here. No, there was a caller there. Petro calls with 7-6 offsuit. Lots of spades out in the field, so it'll be difficult here for DJ to make a spade flush as queen 10-5 comes out, giving DJ top pair. Not much there for Petro, and he immediately folds as DJ c-bets. Petro nodding as DJ does show the king queen, letting everybody know he's not getting out of line just yet. Everybody knows DJ is more than capable of making some moves, but this man is on a mission to get back to even. Again, quite a few viewers on our YouTube channel and our Facebook as well. Thank everyone for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth. Join us for this DJ's game on Wednesday night. Looks like there's a $5 straddle on this hand. DJ calling 5 with queen 3. Dummy coming along with ace 5 offsuit. Petro calling with 9-7 offsuit. Richard limps in as well with the 10-8. Lots of people to the flop. On a king 9 ace board. Dummy flopping top pair. Not much else for anybody else. We'll see if Mr. Dummy D Daryl bets this one out here. Check turn on the turn, and Dummy D is still going to have this hand here unless he can get bet off of it here. Check, check, and probably check by Petro. Does he want to see where he stands with his 9s? And he's going to bet 40, and a good bet it is, and it's going to get through. So, good bet there by Petro. Trying to figure out who bet the original 20 here, but it did get called quite a bit around, and Nick going to squeeze here with ace jack offsuit. Might have been Allen that made the original bet to 20 with the queen 10. Unfortunately, trying to make a move, not catching many cards. Unfortunately, it runs into it there with Nickelodeon DJ, who really wants some of those chips back from Nick. I'm just calling that part out loud. DJ really wanting some of those chips back from Nick. Very disciplined fold there with the King 4 suited. Nick gonna show him.
Please, can I see a run out?
Either way, right there.
I had King 4 spades, and I was fixing to call you.
DJ saying, please run this out. I want to know if I would have caused some pain there. And Jenny going to oblige. All diamonds. So DJ definitely bowed out at a good time on that one. Good time to not seek revenge on Nick, as he would have run straight into it there. But boy, he wanted to. Still wanting those chips back from Nick that he gave to him early in the game. Part of what put Mr. DJ in the hole for the live stream, but he has climbed his way back to darn near even.
Seema, is there any chance you can call in some pizza scores?
Nick here now with pocket threes, going to raise it up to 15. Pretty quick call there by Allen. King, queen offsuit, who's been trying to get involved to pick himself up out of the hole as well. Folding on around to Brian on the button. Brian decides to play the button. The King 9 offsuit. East calling the 15. Pocket sixes. DJ doesn't care what he has, calls the 15 as well. And Clay pocket deuces. So quite a few range of hands out here. 3, 4, 6. So that's going to be a top set for East, middle set for Nickelodeon, and buckle up. Let's see how they choose to play this one. East is going to be the first one to act here. He does check it over to Nickelodeon, who was the initial pre-flop raiser, who's going to be 11 where he's sitting. Going to bet this one out. 25 bet. Now it's back to East. Does he announce himself now or slow play it? He does elect to slow play it. DJ gets out of the way, and Clay with pocket deuces. He comes along maybe to see if he can spike a deuce. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that he doesn't want any part of a deuce. But the 5 does come out, which gives him the straight. So, yeah, mark this one for the highlight reels. East, top set. Nickelodeon, third set. And Clay, the bottom straight. And the 4 on the river brings the boat, stealing the hand away from Clay. But Clay here is going to bet out 75, thinking that he has the best of it for good reason as well. Unfortunately, he is in last place. Let the camera or the graphics do some catch-ups here. So East, good check there on that river, enticed a bet out of Clay. Nickelodeon is going to raise this up to 225, and East, the only reason he is even thinking about this one is because he wants to get Clay to come along as well. And tough one here on Clay. I mean, you've got the straight, a very sneaky straight. I mean, pocket sevens could be a thing. Is the only reason I could see him really giving this any thought here. Of course, with the board pairs, an obvious reason to get this hand a consideration of a fold. But that's a lot of betting. Neither player is going to be probably waking up with anything less than a boat here on this river. But he's already put in 75. Does he want to call 230 more? He's built up a lot of chips this evening. Looks like he's grabbing his chips up and does fold. Good fold, sir. And Nickelodeon does make the snap call and gets the bad news as East gets the full double up, courtesy of Nick on the set over set action. Rivered the boat to take the whole hand away from Clay, whose pocket twos went from worst to first until that river. So as dealer Jenny ships over the chips to East, that is going to make him probably, looks like the new chip stack leader at the table, pulling him a little over 850. Now, I do believe he's in for more than one bullet, but either way, he is back in the black after that hand. And Nick, the early fortunes have slipped away to where he is just about under where he started the night with now. With Clay still sitting comfortable with almost 800 in chips. Got away from the bottom end of that straight there. Again, he made a pretty healthy bet with a raise and then a 3-bet all in coming back to him. So somebody's got a boat there. Your straight is never good. Minimally pocket sevens for the bigger straight. So good lay down there by Mr. Clay. Now, Nick, who just took a massive cooler, wakes up with kings and Dummy D, pocket queens. Geez Louise, Mr. Darrell just can't cut a break tonight. And the $15 raise is just going to get through as is. So kings versus queens, 10-9 suited, 5-3 deuce. A very ugly flop, but very good for these players. No, Brian has ace 4. Goodness gracious. So 2 coolers in a row here for Nick. And Dummy looking at another cooler as well. So Nick bets 35 with pocket kings. Dummy's going to immediately raise with his pocket queens. Meanwhile, Brian nicely and patiently flops the joint with ace 4 on this 2-3-5 board. And Brian is, let's see how he elects to play this. You have a bet and a min raise essentially from Dummy D. Let's see if he just elects to call and slow play this. It is a rainbow flop. So he does call. Nickelodeon with pocket kings here. Definitely an awkward position. You get min clicked and then a flat call. And it looks like he just went all in and immediately snapped by Dummy. And it's going to be immediately snapped by Brian. I'm assuming it's going to be immediately snapped by Brian. The dealer hasn't asked him yet. So all in by Nick, all in by Dummy D. Brian asking how much it is, but it doesn't matter. He's never folding. If someone has 4-6, good on them. So he does put out the call-in chips. So Brian, who out-chips both of them, is going to be the full beneficiary here 93% of the time. Dummy D looking for 2 perfect runners, as is Nick. Needing a king and a board pair, or a queen and a board pair, or they both get some running chop outs on a boarded straight. So Nick and Dummy D, very rough shape. Had the cooler in between them, and then Brian came in and coolered them both. Jenny going to verify stacks here, but I do believe Brian has everyone out chipped. And shows the wheel to him, gives him the bad news. As Jenny collects the chips. Needing some running cards on this turn. 9 of hearts is going to seal the deal. And Brian plays cooler, taking out the kings and the queens of Dummy D and Nick for a huge $700 pot. And that's going to put him in the chip lead. So some very big pots the last few hands here. Some coolers throwing out. Like Nick did get some backup chips out. We'll see if Mr. WD Daryl comes back into play. He's had a rough on it tonight. Some couple tough coolers there. Yeah, he does go ahead and maybe call it an evening. Alan going to try to switch to his seat, try to change his luck. I'm not sure if I'd want Mr. Daryl's luck tonight, though, sitting in that seat, but maybe Alan thinks it'll be different for him. And we will go to the list and fill up this 9th chair, or the 8th chair now. So 3 big winners so far, Brian, Clay, and East. And all, apart from Clay, and Clay did pick up a few big ones there and actually took a hit and still is amongst the leaders there. But Brian nearing the 1K mark with that massive 3-way all-in pot with ace 4 flopping the wheel, taking out kings and queens along the way. So well done to him, and see what he does with that stack for the rest of the stream. You got about an hour, a little over an hour left of the stream. And we are going to be, like I said, we have a list for the game here, be adding in a 9th player. But this game does go on beyond the stream. So if you feel like you want to get in on this game, you can show up here to Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson and get in on this stream. It's been a fantastic game. Richard going to raise it up with pocket 8s, being called by Brian with 8-7 suited, and the last of the 8 is in play in Clay's hand with 9-8. Nickelodeon, who is just keep picking up big hands, is now getting pocket jacks, but does not get scared. Raises it up to 3-bet to 55. Keep playing poker as is. Petro wants to see a flop with his pocket 6s. DJ, who has an ace in his hand, hates not being involved. See if he makes a disciplined lay down here, knowing he's behind, which he does, much to his disdain. As much as he wants to participate, just knows that he is behind there every single time. So we're going to have jacks, 8s, and 6s to a flop. Nickelodeon due for a hand to stand up. He's taken some beats in the last few minutes. And it's not going to stop just yet as Petro flops bottom set against the pocket jacks of Nick. So tough going here for Nick, and he's going to continue betting just as he should. Looks like he's betting 60. And an immediate all-in by Petro there. So Petro not going to slow play this at all. Nick's only put in a little over 100 of his stacks, so he's definitely going to be able to get away from it, probably. But it's sometimes just hard to absorb that you're just beat every time with these good hands. He's definitely had cooler after cooler. Does he want to put in the rest of his stack? If Petro has a king here. But unfortunately, there's just no world where Petro's doing this on an open-knitted straight draw, say Queen Jack. The bare minimum that Petro has here is King 10, which is obviously beating your pocket jacks. So I think this is an easy fold. It's only hard for Nick because of just the constant barrage of coolers that he's been taking. You see the frustration there. Like I said, it seems like an easy fold, but at some point it's just difficult to accept over and over and over that you're getting coolered. And he shows it there for the frustration. Petro going to show the 6s for the set, and I'm not sure that showing it there is doing Nick any favors, staring that indeed he did lose to an inferior hand once again. So it's one of those times that if you are Nick, you either want to keep getting the cards and keep trying to spin it up, or if you're asking the dealers to kindly give you some cards that you can fold and get out of the way for a little while. That's sometimes what it takes. Letting things cool off a bit. Keeps getting good hands and getting coolered.
I had aces when he had the 9 of clubs.
Hand 41 of the roller coaster continues. The stream definitely had heated up in the last 15-20 minutes as the hands started to get real. Yeah, Beast, he could have got paid there a little bit. I think Nick was steaming just enough to put in maybe some more money there on turn, maybe. Normally, I would say Nick would slow down after being called on that flop. But like I said, Pedro decided the pot was big enough for him, and he is stacking the chips. So if you're stacking the chips, you didn't do everything wrong. Queen 10-10 on this flop. Nickelodeon flopping top. It's going to be checked around. Another queen on the turn. Going to be hard for Nick to get coolered on this one. And so he feels safe betting out here. 25, Allen in the 9 seat. Can't come along with his counterfeit sixes. And East decides to not link him up with ace high. So Nick relieves a little bit of pain by stacking some chips after going from the penthouse to the basement and rebuying chips. Had all the chips and in just a few short hands, some coolers, distributed them to others at the table, which definitely poker is prone to do. Clay and Brian and East still your comfortable big winners. Pedro with that pot definitely put him up to the double the starting stack amount there. So those are your 4 winners of the evening. DJ getting close to getting his couple investments back. Decides to raise this hand up to 16, the Jack 10 offsuit. Allen chose not to play the suited connectors that time. He was getting trying to get involved there for a little while, but the action got to be a little bit too heavy. He's trying to climb himself up out of the basement. Brian, definitely easy to put in the call there when you've accumulated that many chips. Trying to play spoiler with this 10-6 of diamonds, dominated by DJ's Jack 10. 4-9 ace, no diamonds. DJ checking here. Brian going to check in flow to a turn. King of clubs brings the front door clubs there. Still nothing for either player. 7 of clubs on the river. Neither player holding a club. Freezes the action, and the Jack 10 going to be good. Much to DJ's shock, but no reason for anyone to bet there. Could be coming up on the bomb pots soon. Do the bomb pots at the top of every hour on the streams. Of course, we're on a 15-minute delay. We started a little bit after 7 p.m., so probably in the next hand or two. East looking down at King Queen limps in for $2. Likes to try to see cheap flops. Likes to play the $2 game. And he's laid it down if it's been raised up. but he's also defended a little bit, so his range is definitely a little bit balanced. Petro's turn for the pocket jack is going to raise it up to 31 out of the blue. And East is going to come along, good for 2, good for 31. DJ is tired of folding, coming at him with 10-4 suited and bring to 3 ways. King Queen, 10-4 suited, and pocket jacks for Petro. On an ace 6-9 board, 2 clubs, 1 spade, so DJ only has some runner outs here. Petro down bets to 25, interestingly enough. And he folds, and DJ, I think I heard all in. Did he say all in? He's not moving. He hasn't put any chips in, but I'm pretty sure he said all in. Interesting. Nope, he didn't say all in. Gosh, I thought he said all in. I thought he was putting on a show there. So he does make the call. 7 of hearts doesn't quite help much here. Does give DJ a gut shot. Petro's going to check here, so this is an opportunity for DJ to take the lead, which he does. I feel like he might have waited a little too long on that flop to make the call, so it doesn't look quite as good. And now he's going to catch that 10 on the river. He thinks he's going to have a little more value, but Petro's not betting anything here without an ace or a club or 2 clubs, so DJ makes the crying call there. I think if he would have thought about that one for 2 more minutes, probably wouldn't have made that call, but he does say that he plays for fun on stream. So again, if that was for piles of money, I could see DJ playing that one a little differently. And by playing it, I mean he would still play 10-4 suited for piles of money. He would just have played it differently. Hand number 44. DJ going to raise this one up with ace-8 offsuit. Clay, pocket 9s comes along. Nick with the queen-jack offsuit coming along for 15 as well. Petro calling 7-6 suited. Richard completing the small blind with king-queen offsuit. And Brian in the big. Let's go with the best hand. 3 deuce of diamonds. You got to play that one, buddy. 5 ways, all those chips, 13 more dollars. Come on, Brian. And a flop of ace, jack, 8. Looks like all clubs. So Brian knew what he was doing after all. Petro going to flop the joint here. Richard with the king high flush draw. 1 more club will give him the nuts. Clay with the pocket 9s. Red ones can only check here. And Petro, is he going to slow play this one, or is he going to go ahead and bet this one up? Looks like he does bet 45. Richard could call here and or put in the rest of his chips. I'll be honest with you. He's stacking them up like he could, and he does. And I don't hate it. He's only got, he's about 100 behind. He can't... oh, DJ. I didn't even pay attention to DJ's hand, guys. DJ just got it all in for $325. It's going to put a bigger dent into Pedro, who is never going to lay this down. So big cooler here. I was not paying attention to DJ's hand. Ace-8, 2 pair. Richard, nut flush draw. Petro, flush already there on an ace, jack, 8 of all of clubs board. DJ going to be looking for any ace or any 8. Richard looking for any club. And Petro looking for 2 red little cards on the run out.
Bro, I thought, what do you have, bro? Do I got a rebuy already? So how much?
Petro really desperately wanting to see these hands.
Sick, bro. He's a sicko. He's sick.
DJ looking for an ace or an 8 to come back in this hand. 10 of hearts, no help. Queen on the river, no help to any player. So Petro going to take this one down with the 7-6 of clubs on a flopped flush. And he's going to have everyone out chipped, DJ and Richard, for a huge pot to put him into definitely the chip lead here. They ran that second one, I think. Yeah, I think they were just testing if what would have happened if they would have run it twice there. So Petro, big benefactor of the 7-6 suited pre-flop, flopping the flush, catching other players with good enough holdings to get their stacks in onto that flop. Going to take him to the top of the pile for 1.25K. Brian still hovering on that 1,000 mark on that monster hand. Clay is still clinging onto those chips. Bled him out a little bit, but not too much. Still playing. Got almost $750 in front of him. East a little over the 800 mark, and everyone else in the red. Richard, who hasn't had much to work with tonight, a buy-in down because he's like he's rebuying right now. Nick, who was in the catbird seat, has ran into some coolers and is now down. And DJ, who was climbing back out of the cellar, has jumped right back into the cellar. And flopping 2 pair against the flopped flush there will do it. And Allen still has a couple hundred in front of him, but 2 or 3 buy-ins deep, needing to turn it around here in the last hour of this stream. You may see DJ changing gears here a little bit to try to win those chips back. Raising it up to 10 with king at 9 offsuit. Clay going to call 10 with the pocket 7s. Allen, ace 10 comes along. Petro with the newfound fortune calls with 10-6 of diamonds. Brian calls as well, so we're going to have a 2 mini to a flop. $10 a piece in the pot. You get 6 ways, 5 ways. King, 10, 4, all spades. Another mono flop, but I don't see a single spade in the field, so aggression could win this one here. And it looks like Petro is going to be the one to do that with only the second pair. DJ does have top pair. Does he want to give Petro credit for flopping a flush back to back? Doesn't look like he does. He's going to make that call for 18, and we're going to go heads up. Petro looking for a 10 or a 6, but not much doing. Pocket 7s would have got there for Clay on the turn, but still you can't call that flop. Let's see if Petro keeps up the aggression. He does for a quarter. DJ would just top pair here. No spade, but he's still coming along as a non-believer. Like I said, he's going to get these final chips into play here, and he's going to get to a river, and it's going to be good. So a little bit of a comeback there for DJ to take away the pain of getting the cooler in the last hand. Stacking chips always makes the mood better, if not all the way, at least a little bit. And we hear dealer Jenny announcing the bomb pot. Again, for those that don't know, this is a 4-card Omaha high only double board. One board wins one half of the pot. The other board wins the other half. You must play 2 cards in your hand, but only 2 cards in your hand. And I don't see much for anyone. Allen has a nut flush draw, but on a paired board. Brian, open-ended. 2-pair on one board for that guy. I don't see a 7 in anyone's holdings. Richard has queens. It's like East is going to be the one to bet this out with his 2-pair. Nothing on the bottom. 5 should bring the straight home for Petro. 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And guess the pair of 9s is going to be good on the bottom as well. Yeah, the computer's even showing it. This is a full scoop here for Petro. But it's not going to work for matter to anybody as no one does call. So it doesn't have much, but it is enough to take down both sides of the bomb pot. Pretty rare to do so. Called a scoop. And that was a scoop. Speaking of rare, how about a $20,000 free roll? I tried a $20,000 free roll on October 12th here at Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson. The only way you get into this tournament is by getting in the top 15% in one of our qualifiers. We're only going to have 3 qualifiers. August 3rd, September 7th, and October 5th. At the beginning of the next 3 months, you're going to spend the whole previous month building a chip stack to play with in that qualifier. So right now, for the month of July, you are building the chip stack for August 3rd. The way you build that chip stack is to play in our cash games. You can win some hourly high hands, be the first 9 players of the day, or just by flat out being a member of the club, you get a 5,000 chip starting stack for the qualifier. You can also win by participating in our tournaments. Every entry, every rebuy, every add-on, the first 9 people registered, the break high hands, just lots of ways to build your chips for this August 3rd qualifier where you are just trying to get in the top 15%. The top 15% qualify for that $20,000 free roll in October. So don't miss it. Only 3 chances. The first one's coming up on August 3rd.
Couldn't let me win one hand tonight, not one hand.
Yeah, but what?
I have not won a hand. I have not had a hand to play. He won and he drew out with 9. I mean, he didn't draw out, he just had 9.
Oh, that was the ex-queen, right?
Yeah. Best hand I've seen. Great.
Nickelodeon looking to get some of the chips back he's lost in the last hour. Raising up to 15 with that 10-9 offsuit. Allen coming along, King Jack. Petro waking up with ace tray of diamonds. DJ always involved with a King 6. And Clay sneaking in there with the 5-4 of clubs. 5 ways, $15 pre-flop. Good, healthy pot here with a Queen 7-9 rainbow board. Nickelodeon going to have a second pair. He's going to check through. 6 on the river completes the rainbow. Clay now up and down straight draw. Bottom pair for DJ. Nickelodeon still best with his second pair of 9s. Nobody has the queen. If anyone gets really aggressive here, it could turn this hand around. And that's what Nickelodeon does. Well played, sir. I just said it out loud, and he was in the process of it. Now, does Clay get away from it? He does have the bottom end of the straight. An 8 coming out does give it a one-liner to the top, to the 10, which would help Nickelodeon. So Clay here looking for a 3, and pretty much only a 3. And there's the 3. So the runs good for Mr. Clay. Looks like he immediately checks. Yeah, he did check it over to Nick. Let's see if Nick wants to bet this out. It's going to be hard for Nick to bet. Yeah, so he does check it. So Clay's not going to get awarded, but he's going to show the river 3 that just gets there. Couldn't be an 8. Had to be the 3. So all things coming up Clay tonight. Played very patiently. Waited for the hands to come to him, and they cooperate when they do. When you're catching your gut shots and the right end of your open-enders, when it's just your night, it's just your night. We've all been there. We know what it's like. At least hopefully you know what that's like. And good on Clay for that. He's due. I will say he's due. I've talked to him a little bit here in the club last few weeks. I think he'll tell you he's due for some run good. And we'll see if he keeps it up here in the next 45 minutes on stream as things start to get a little bit more rambunctious as the people who are down try to clamber back up while still alive to show the world, hey, I didn't lose that much. Case in point, Allen raised it up to 20 with ace-9 of spades. East come along with ace-queen, and DJ, Applebee's card and a napkin comes in there for the call as well. Jack-3 deuce. No help to any player. And DJ is going to take the lead on it. And it may get through here. Nope, Allen's going to defend, keep him honest with the ace-9 of spades. Does pick up the spade draw on the turn, so he's going to go ahead and shove it in all in here. And DJ, unfortunately, who had a great line for DJ, but Allen had just had enough, didn't have the stack to play with much anymore, picks up the flush draw. And good aggression there out of DJ and was almost perfect, but unfortunately was picking on a man who had been picked on enough tonight and couldn't take it. Put the rest of it in there, and it was good enough to get a pot that is due. Mr. Allen finally gets to stack some chips. He's had the short end of the deck with this stream so far. So we will see where it goes from here as we are on hand number 50. Hand number 50 here with dealer Jenny in the box. Petro looking out for ace-jack offsuit. Looks like he just made the raised 17 there. Richard decides to play the king at 5 suited. Brian making the call with king 8 suited. DJ folding 9-6. Clay, king-jack offsuit, decides to come along. Nothing for Nick or Allen. So we're going to go 4 ways to a $17 apiece flop. Ace-jack ahead of king 5, king 8, and queen jack. Queen 10-5. So Clay got a flop best here. Petro with a gut shot. Unfortunately, that gut shot is halfway in Richard and Brian's hands. Only 2 kings left. Nobody has any diamond draws. Runner for Petro anyway. Pedro's going to keep up the pre-flop progression, though, betting the 17. Get a fold out of Brian. Clay probably will come along here with the top pair. He does. So Pedro looking for an ace. There's the gut shot king. So Pedro has made his Broadway with the redraw to the second nuts on the diamond draw. Clay here, tough to call $30 on a pretty coordinated board, even though you have your open ender with the jack, 3 diamonds out there. Could bring a 1-card flush even if you hit it. Come on, Clay, the deck's been beating you up. No reason to get greedy here. There you go, lays it down. Dylan, I think you're right, but I will say that at the end of the day, while the game's been a little bit slower paced, it's the coolers have been bigger. The spots of excitement have been pretty large. Sets over sets, aces cracked, kings versus queens versus ace 4 pulling it out. So while the action has been a little bit slower, the pots, the train wrecks have been bigger, if you understand what I'm saying. Michael wants to do a pot guess for an hour. Well, I don't quite have an hour, but I don't mind putting something together. Let's see. This is hand number 51. We should get to 60. So, or for sure get to 60. So we can do hand number 60. I personally don't like the Jeopardy style, where if you're over, it's too much or whatever it is. I just say closest to. So this is my stream today. I'm going to do the closest to. So whatever you think the pot is on screen at the completion of the hand, whether it's the flop or whether it's the turn or whether it's the river, hand number 60. So put your guess into the chat. Hand number 60, 8 hands from now, and I'll do one of our really nice hats. We have a lot of nice hats here. That's a heck of a prize. So how about a comp hat for anyone who is closest to the pot size on hand number 60? And you've got to come get it in person. You've got to say that Reese gave it away to me on the stream. I'll write down your name. And we'll give away one of our sweet hats. We got a new shipment in not terribly long ago, and there are some good looking ones. I need to steal me one. One liner straight on the board is going to lock up this hand here. Pedro is going to be best with his 9s. Getting lots of guesses in here. Again, Facebook, YouTube, either one you are on, type it in. The total pot amount for pot number 60 for a good looking cap from Poker House Fort Worth. Got to come pick it up in person. And Brian is away from his chair with pocket aces. Everyone be sure and let him know that as they go into the muck. We can see if they would have been good. I need some Facebook guesses in there. If you're watching on Facebook Live, Poker House Fort Worth Facebook, put in a guess. Give me the total pot amount of hand number 60 for a free hat here at Poker House Fort Worth. Seeing lots of YouTube, lots of YouTubers. Let's get some Facebookers in there. And it looks like the pocket aces wouldn't have survived because DJ would have called regardless with that 4-3 on any kind of raise. That is a DJ wheelhouse hand. So good on the miss of the pocket aces there. Would have got cracked by the 4-3 offsuit there of DJ. DJ is going to wish he would have had some more equity in that pot. Anybody watching on Facebook Live, put in your guess now for a hand number 60. We're on hand number 53 right now. So you've got 8 hands, including this one, to get your guess in for one of our beautiful Poker House Fort Worth hats of your choice. Just tell him you got it from Reese on a silly game on the live stream. Made him do extra work by scrolling through all the chat and seeing who was closest. I do not mind it at all. I get caught up in the commentary, as lots of you know and lots of you comment. I'm not much of a color commentator. I'm not exactly entertaining, but I'm typically as informative as I can be. But I get caught up in the hands and the analysis, and don't do many giveaways or things as I should. So it doesn't hurt to always remind me. And DJ, how about a straight flush? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the board. No spades in his opponent's hands, but 2 pair out of East. East is going to bet into him here. So always good to flop a straight flush and have someone betting into you. Now an 8, tough turn there for DJ. That's going to scare East off of the hand. Needs to have a 5th spade on there. So now make it look bluffy, DJ. Make it look bluffy. There you go. Bet a big one there. He's 62. Does East want to say that DJ doesn't have a spade? He's thinking about it long enough here. Yeah, DJ needed to make it bluffy. East knows that he could just be chopping this pot. DJ did a great job making it look bluffy. Let's listen in here.
Straight flush is good when you flop it.
Straight flush for high hand.
Dang, what if the board would have paired? Oh man.
Yep. Yeah. An 8 or a 7 would have been a train wreck. Good on DJ. Flopping a straight flush doesn't make much from it. Does make something, though, hard to do unless your opponent has the ace high flush. But good one there for DJ. So we've got some 56, 93, 167. I'll be honest, guys. I'm not even going to really be keeping up with it unless you're really spamming guesses here. So if you put in a second one, I probably won't even notice that you put in a second one. I'm not getting that technical. I want to give a hat away. But if I notice you're putting in several, then I'm going to take your last one that you put in. So if you want to change it, but don't spam it too many times. Otherwise, I'm going to take the latest. And that's it. So if you want to put in 2 and you think I'll miss the first one, great. I'm not going to get technical on this. I want everyone to get in guesses, get in several guesses. You've got 6 hands, including this one, to get it in. 3, 5, 3 on this flop. No help to anyone. The ace-jack of clay still is best. And he's going to continue the aggression here, betting 15. If anyone wants to float along with a couple over cards, otherwise he'll take this pot down. Sewell, I'll allow it. You're a nice guy. You're very nice to me. I'll take you at 56. King on the turn. The float works out. No, it didn't. He didn't call, so DJ was the one that called. Sorry. So the ace-jack of clay can be best, but DJ is going to leave this one out. Small bluff there. It could look not like a bluff at all. Front door spades get there. Straight gets there. Clay with just ace high here. So it's tough to make this call. Goes ahead and lays that down. So good bet by DJ there to pick up that pot. Zach Sewell's nice to me. That's all I can tell you. He may not be nice. I don't know, but me and him are cool. So, and I'm pretty easy to get along with. So we got 93, 56, 167, 172, a 120, a 136. We need some more guesses. We've only got 5 more hands to win one of our very cool hats here at Poker House Fort Worth. Your choice. Compliments of Reese and the stream. Alan going to raise this one up. King 8 offsuit. Trying to make something happen. He just hasn't caught any cards today. Poor Alan has had the deck against him today. Seeing if he can connect to this flop here. Deuce, 4, deuce, 2 hearts. No one really having anything to go with this one here. Brian still ahead with the ace, queen. Checks through this flop. 9 on the turn. I believe that does make a pair for DJ, and he's going to bet $5 whole. And it's just my work. Nope, Brian's going to come along with his ace queen. Why not? King on the river would have been Alan's hand. Brian bets $2. And, DJ bet another $2, and Brian called. So there and again, thanks for the $2 there bet by DJ. Very neatly. Petro is still leading the night. 1.3K, almost 1.4K. Brian sitting on that big stack still on that massive 3-way cooler. Kings versus queens with his ace-4. Clay still holding on the chips that he has slowly aggregated through the entire stream. And East, right around 600. DJ is actually sitting with 600, but got a few bullets fired in this game. See if he can work his way back to even par. Allen under the gun. Raids it up last hand. Just going to make the call this time. Queen, Jack offsuit. Jack 9 for Brian makes the $2 call. East with 8-7 offsuit makes a call as well. DJ is going to make it 5 straight. Jack 10 of diamonds. Clay also with diamonds of the smaller variety, 9-4, and Nick comes along 8-5 offsuit, so looks like 6-2 a flop. Ace, Trey 4. Clay, I believe, has the only pair. No one has an ace in their hands. DJ was the quote-unquote aggressor with the $5 pre-flop. No diamonds to be seen, though. Got Jeff with a $201 bet there. Now, again, I'm not doing the Jeopardy rules. I think that's what they have done in the past here. I don't care. I don't want to think that hard. Whoever's closest, that's what I'm going with. Nick is going to pick up the wheel with the redraw to an 8-high flush. Going to be hard for anyone else to come along with this so far, though. And so that $15 bet is going to be good enough to take it down with the wheel. $45 pot. Chris says 63. Miss Betty, 122. That was hand number 56. So the 4th hand from now. is going to be the deciding pot. What you think the pot is going to be at the end of the hand. Doesn't matter if it's on the flop, on the turn, on the river. I'll even count pre-flop. We'll do an aggregate on what is in the pot, even pre-flop. If it gets taken down pre-flop, we're going to give away a Poker House Fort Worth hat. Got to come get it in person. So if you are listening or watching the stream from around the Fort Worth area, or even if you don't mind visiting us from the Dallas area, anywhere around the DFW area, make your way to Burleson and Poker House Fort Worth. You need to come and check us out. Anyway, come see the beautiful facilities, all the promotions we have going on, which we'll talk about before the end of the stream for the fourth or fifth time. Gotta love to remind people about that $20,000 free roll. Just going to be a beast. Yeah, Zach, you are right. That is your seat. Ace 4-5. Clay with the only ace in the field. He is going to bet this one out. I don't think... no, DJ just flops the wheel. Now, how can he extract value here? East has the gut shot and makes the call. What does DJ do here? He immediately raises it up to see where he can stand, see if he can get some value. Good lay down there by Clay. East is just not going to be able to continue much without running hearts or a deuce. So DJ flops the joint, but unfortunately not enough out there for anyone else to bring it along. But he does show the wheel, announcing the straight. You hear Ginny there. That's one of our promotions that I was talking about, the Jackpot Fortune. Fortune, they call it, F-O-U-R, Fortune, because you have to make 4 hands in 4 hours. You have 4-hour blocks here at Poker House Fort Worth. You have to make any straight, an ace-high flush, a flopped set, or a boat. Did I say that? Boat, set, an ace-high flush, and a straight. If you make those 4 hands in that 4-hour window, you get the progressive jackpot. I've seen it go for 500. I've seen someone win 1,300. Just depends on, it goes up $100 a day. But it's just one of the things we have going on here at Poker House Fort Worth. Playing in the tournaments, playing in the cash games, you're earning chips for high hands, for hours played. Building up chips to play in our qualifier on August 3rd for the $20,000 free roll. Just a multitude of ways that you're getting something back for playing poker. And that's really all that we're about. Just showing appreciation to our customers, where you can get a little bit back for joining us to play poker. Sixes, king, queen, 4-3, and pocket fives. Seeing a flop of a 7-3 jack. Brian's going to bet 20 with his king-queen, called by Petro's sixes. Queen on the turn does give Brian top pair. DJ and Petro looking at a couple outs apiece to try to make their set. Don't think they're going to call that $30 bet out of Brian. Petro just believes a 6 could be coming. Doesn't want to let him go just yet. But Brian hasn't been exactly a man to bluff tonight, so he does go ahead and lay that down. So Brian picks up another pot, creeping him close to that 1K mark. And that was hand number 58. So this is the last hand to get in your guess. So if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, type in what you think the total pot is going to be. Not this hand, but the next hand, to win a free hat here at Poker House Fort Worth, one of our good-looking logoed hats. Come pick it up in person here at Poker House Fort Worth. There's some good-looking hats that we got in not too long ago, and I'm going to give one of them away to whoever can guess what the total pot is going to be at the end of the next hand. Clay with pocket 10 is going to raise this one up to 20 after a couple limpers have come along. No takers so far. And DJ makes the call with 5-3 of spades. He probably couldn't pick out two better cards that he would want to play against the pocket 10s. And 3 deuce 3. That is why DJ would play that hand. And he's going to check it straight in flow to Clay, who's going to continue for 25 or 20, another 20. And DJ's going to come along. Hard to. He said, okay, so it was a call and then a raise. So check on the turn as the jack comes out. DJ might not get much more out of Clay, but Clay just might have to make a grudging call here for only 30 with that much money already out there. Get in your guesses. The next pot, what's the value of the pot going to be at the end of the hand, whether it's pre-flop, on the turn, or on the river? Clay pays a $30 cost of education to see that DJ did, in fact, play a 3. But I'm pretty sure that was well within his range, as anyone at the table could tell you, or anyone that watches the streams. Loves to mix it up here on his game, DJ's game. Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. You too can play at this game. Sign up at Poker House Fort Worth anytime during the week. So this is it. Hand number 60. Last chance to get in the guesses. I'm going to do the timestamp now. So you got about 10 seconds to get your guess in. The total of this pot. Looks like it was raised up. So no more guesses now. 2150 was the last guess. Was a pre-flop raised to 15 pots, so it's going to be a number that's going to be up there. $52 is the pot right now. Petro and East both have top pairs. We may see this pot grow just a little bit. 2 hearts. Nobody with a heart draw. DJ is going to bet $2 on the gut shot straight, though. Petro is going to raise it up to 20. Called by East and called by DJ, so the pot has passed over 100. 114 to be precise. Front door hearts and the 8 comes on the turn, giving DJ the 10 high straight. Heart is going to slow things down, though, on that. 4 on the river doesn't change anything. So, no, I'm sorry, that changes a lot. That gives Petro a straight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. DJ is going to bet this out $50. Petro is just going to make the call just in case the hearts are out there. So, a pot of 214. 214. 214. Who had it closest? Let's see. $214. Who got the closest? We've got a 201 here. Now there's a 219. 219 out of Nathaniel. So Nathaniel, 219, missed it by $5. Yep, Nathaniel typing in 219 on YouTube at 2131. 219. Fantastic, Nathaniel. Great guess. Barely missed that one. So, Jeff, you did good. You got close, but Nathaniel had 219. So, Nathaniel, if you is that your YouTube name, your actual name here? Are you a member of the Poker House Fort Worth? Are you located around here to come pick up your hat? give me a yes or no. Let me know. Alan's going to pick up a decent pot there with the ace-8 of diamonds. Had the diamond draw to go with his pairs of 8s and 9s. Nathaniel, are you do you go by Nathaniel and you can come by Poker House Fort Worth to pick up the hat? Fantastic. Well, good to hear. So come on by Poker House Fort Worth. Let them know that Reese did a giveaway on the stream for one of our new hats. And you can come pick out hat of your choice. And if they don't believe you, they can call me. But I'll let the cage guys know that Nathaniel will be coming to pick up a hat. Fantastic, Nathaniel. I'll tell him you'll be here Friday. And no, we will look him up in the database on Poker Alice to make sure that it's him. So you can't just walk up and say that you're Nathaniel. It won't work. Got about 15 minutes left of the stream. Definitely glad to see everyone that tuned in on the Facebook and the YouTube. This Wednesday, $1, $2, $300 cap buy-in, no limit hold'em game. The pace has been interesting, but the hands have been really good. The game never really got completely in the weeds slow, but the pace was up and down. But the hands we did see made up for it. It was bursts of big wows, big hands, big coolers, lots of chips being shifted. Overall, a good game on this Wednesday night. But just because the stream ends doesn't mean the game ends. So if you want to get in here and mix it up with some of these guys, the game will move on. We've got an outer table of poker going on as well. So plenty of action, plenty of poker to be played here at Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson. Ace, deuce, deuce, missing everyone on this flop. Another deuce on the turn. King high still good out of east. He does make the kings full, the deuces full on the river, but no one's going to have anything else to call with it there. So east is going to pick this hand up. Petro still the chip leader of tonight's game. A little over 1.25K. Brian right behind him with a little less than 1,000. Clay, a little over 600 east. A little over 500. DJ sitting at 700 and almost back to even. It's going to be one of those nights where breaking even feels like you won $2,000 with the roller coaster that he's been on. And the big hands that he did get didn't get paid very well. Had a straight flush, some pretty sneaky trips, some pretty sneaky straights, but just didn't get at second place hand to pay him off. Allen's going to raise this one up. Ace Queen. Brian, who's been the silent assassin all night long, is going to call with pocket jacks. Clay, Ace 10 offsuit, going to go ahead and make the call as well. So pocket jacks against Ace 10, Ace Queen, and 9-8 suited. Queen 4-7. So Allen here going to flop top. I'm going to go ahead and lead out, continue the aggression here. Looks like he'd be at 20. And it looks like Petro's snap called here. Looking for some runners with his 9-8 suited. Lots of good turn cards for him, though. Brian does come along with his pocket jacks for one more street. 6 on the turn gives Petro that one of those runners for making it open-ended. Now he's locked in to call Allen's turn bet of 25. And Brian with the pocket jacks still not really a believer that someone could have the queen. Still come along for 25. So a sizable pot brewing. Queen on the river. Definitely going to be an interesting card because that makes it a little less believable that Allen has a queen for Brian. But that is a pretty healthy bet. Petro not going to be able to come along, though, unfortunately. So Brian could get sticky here. If you don't believe that your opponent had the queen to begin with, and that other queen on the river comes out, makes it even less likely that he has a queen. But he has been telling the story the whole time that he has had a hand. He did raise pre-flop. So do you just give him a queen here? Or do you call this $95 bet, about a half pot bet here? It looks like Brian's going to make it look him up. So he's going to see the bad news as Allen turns over the ace queen. So a big pot there for Allen. Finally for Mr. Allen, picking up a decent pot who has been beat up by the cards all night long on stream. Not be only the second pot that he's won, but it is a good one there. So that definitely helps move the meter back up towards the positive for him tonight. Zach, Minnesota Mike, has been helping us out over at our Peaks location in Dallas. He's been working over at Peaks, Poker House Peaks in Dallas, Texas. He's been doing some of the live streams over there, I believe. Yeah, Minnesota Mike still with us, just working over in Dallas the last couple weeks. So Allen building that stack up to north of 500 helps ease some of the losses that he has incurred tonight with the deck being so rude. East going to call 2 with the 6-5. DJ decides to play the queens slowly, and look at this. He's going to get the action he's hoping for behind him as Clay wakes up with the ace-king, raises it up to 20, and immediately called by Nick with queen-jack. Now expect DJ to show himself here, and there it is. He's going to take that $2, and they say 20, and it looks like he's going to make it 120. So limps in for 2, hoping for the action, and that's exactly what he got. Made it 125. So does Clay. Lots of action here. DJ has built up this stack to really put a cannonball into Clay's stack that he got early. He's going to make that call with ace-king. Nick going to let the queen-jack go. Unfortunately for DJ, one of his outs is gone, but doesn't necessarily need to hit a queen. Just needs to dodge an ace or a king here from Clay. And unfortunately for DJ, Clay is still running hot. And spikes ace and then checks it too. And the king. Yeah. DJ not going to be losing much on this hand. Bets the 2. Clay and immediately raises. And a frustrated call by DJ. I figured DJ would fold there, but just a frustration call from DJ there. As a 9 on the river does not help anything. So DJ checks. Clay, see if he can bet any amount here for DJ to call. 324 in this pot. I think anything north of $50. He's thinking long about it, and I like it because it makes it look like he's got to know. He didn't bet it either, so DJ gets out for the minimum of non-believing, and Clay continues the sun run, playing patiently, catching the cards, doing the work, and that's been the story of DJ's night. When he's got it, no one else can get there to pay it off, and when he does get it, they catch up to him. But it is not one of his worst nights, and he has just battled the whole way through and isn't even, if you ask me, he's not as down as much as he should be. He's had some brutal ones tonight, and so he's worked really, really well and hard to be where he's at right now with about 600 in front of him. Brian, seat 3, has the 7 deuce. I don't know if he called, though. I don't see any cards in front of him. He didn't want to play the 7 deuce game. East calling to King 8. DJ going to raise it up to 20, going to press this towards the end of the stream to try to climb back to even with King Queen offsuit. Petro calls with the 5-4 offsuit. East coming along. No, he did fold, so it's going to be Petro versus DJ. Ace, 6, 2 hearts on this flop. No help to either player. Can see if DJ wants to keep up the aggression. King high will be good here a lot of the time anyway. It's going to go check, check to a turn. 3 of hearts. Front door hearts do get there. Petro looked at his cards to see if he had a heart there, but did not. And they're going to turn over here, and King high is going to take this one down. So DJ picks up a free $23 there in that pot. Petro is still your leader, almost 1.2K. Clay and Brian both around the 800 mark. Like I said, DJ is sitting 4th in chips, but still down about a bullet. See if he can build that back up, break even on the stream. Pretty rare for him to lose on the streams. Needs to make something happen here in the last few minutes. And he's going to put it in $20 with Queen, Jack of hearts. See if there's anybody who wants to come along. Petro does with Jack, King of spades. So DJ looking for a queen of lots of hearts to take this one away from Petro. Quite the underdog on this hand here. As Ginny puts out 10, ace, 6, 2 diamonds, 1 heart. Both players picking up the gut shot Broadway with each other's outs. But DJ having the runner heart draw does not get there. 7 of spades on the turn doesn't change anything. 6 on the river. They're going to turn this one up, and King high is going to be good for Petro, so he's going to take that race down. DJ making the squeeze play here. We've had a few $10 bets and calls. DJ squeezes to 50 with the Queen Jack. Petro and Allen both coming along. King 7 of hearts with Allen and 10 and 9 suited with Petro. So DJ definitely trying to book that stream win, building these pots on the way to take one of these bigger ones down. 3-9-9. Again, I have a hard one taking this one away from Petro, flopping 3 9s. It does check around to a turn of a 4 of diamonds. Luckily, it does not hit either one of the other players, so Petro are going to go ahead and bet this one out to see if he has any takers. DJ snap calls the $50 bet by Petro here. Don't know if DJ has any plans here to try to take this one away, but Petro continues with another 50, and that's a very suspicious bet there. So DJ, decides to go ahead and opt out of any plans he might have had. Petro shows him the 9. That, like I said, that same bet on the river there, trying to get to his cheap showdown, shows that he has something that Queen High is not going to beat. So Petro wins another one. Petro and Clay, things going all their way tonight on stream. DJ's game Wednesday night at 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We're seeing if DJ can get back to even territory. Doesn't lose much on stream. And there are stacks around the table to get it back with. Some action here now. Nickelodeon raising it up to 15, called by Allen and Petro. I don't think it matters what DJ's cards are. He's going to call Queen 5 offsuit. I was correct. And so we're going to go 5 ways to a flop. And suited Ace-6 of Clay is going to be best right now. 9, 10, 3. Allen going to be flopping 2 pair. Petro open-ended. Flush draw for Clay. So this is a hand waiting to happen. Clay's going to bet this one out for 20. Allen's going to raise it up to 80. Petro has the chips to call the, raised to 60 by Allen. So 20 by Clay, 60 by Allen. Petro going to make the call being open-ended. DJ discussed that he doesn't have anything to compete with. Clay obviously going to make this call, drawing it to the nuts, and we're still going to be 3-handed on a decent-sized pot. Clay looking for a spade, Allen looking for nothing to happen, Petro looking for a 6 or a jack. Deuce of clubs on the turn, complete brick does not help any player. Clay's going to check his option here. Allen going to continue the aggression here with the top 2 pair, but it looks like it's a down bet here, or an equal bet here, 65. So pretty much the same one the last one. Petro may have to make a crying call here. He does. And Clay will come along as well with the spade draw. I'm assuming. He's looking at it pretty hard. Maybe he doesn't feel the spade coming. You know, sometimes you just don't feel it. You just don't feel it. He's at a nice, even round number of 700 in front of him. Maybe he wants to just finish with that. Does he want to put an additional 65 in there for a spade? Come on, Clay. You got to. You've been on a heater all night long. You've got to keep it up, and he does. Didn't look like he liked it, but he's getting the pot odds to definitely call for a spade here. And Jenny does not make that happen, and the 9 does make the vote for Allen. Clay's going to check it here. Allen's going to go all in, and neither Petro nor Clay are going to be able to come along as neither one of them hit their outs. And so a big, big pot there for Allen, getting some of the late stream love that he does need with the night that he has had. And that could be very, very close to putting him back to even. Pretty close to putting him back to even, which is a good place to be for a lot of these guys. The deck cards have not been nice to a few people on the stream tonight. Definitely been a roller coaster stream for a lot of these players.
Bomb pot this hand or next hand? One more and then bomb pot.
Here the players saying they have one more hand and the bomb pot. So we have two more hands here on this Wednesday night DJ's game stream. But I have a funny feeling this game's going to go on. There's too many players that are trying to get some of their money back. So if you are listening or watching close by, come hop in because these guys want to keep playing. I can promise you that. Richard coming along with the King Queen offsuit. Alan with the newfound chips folds his hand. Petro calls at $2. Ryan coming along for $2. And I don't think it matters what DJ has. He's going to make it about 20. Well, looks like he just called the $10 bet of East, ace-8 suited. So we're going to have, looks like heads up between East and DJ. Queen, 4, 5, 2 clubs. Richard going to flop best if he is in the hand. Like I said, I don't know if Richard came along or not. East is in the hand. Goes check, check. So it is 3 ways here. I think I saw cards in front of Richard. He goes ahead and bets out his top pair, betting 15. It's going to go probably a... Nope, DJ does come along as well. Going to float here with the King Jack, trying to pick up a king to take the hand, but it wouldn't be good enough even if it did come. Checks it over to Richard. Richard's going to bet a quarter into this one, and DJ is going to have to helicopter the hand into the muck. So Richard finally gets to stack some chips, been quiet in the corner, not catching any cards. And it looks like we are down to the final bomb pot, final hand of the night. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth for the DJ's game. $1, $2, no limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in every Wednesday here at Poker House Fort Worth. You can sign up for this game anytime at Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson. A very affordable, fun game. Gets a little wild, gets a little crazy, but that is what makes it fun. Don't forget, you can earn chips into the qualifier for the $20,000 free roll. On August 3rd, you can make your own stack by playing in cash games and tournaments here at Poker House Fort Worth. Many, many ways to earn chips into that qualifier. Make your own stack, try to shoot with that top 15% and punch your ticket into the $20,000 free roll. We also have the Fortune jackpot going. 4 hours to make 4 hands. With that progressive jackpot. Just lots of things going on here at Poker House Fort Worth. 7 days a week. Our noon free rolls every day. If you're off work, find yourself nothing to do, come play in our free roll at noon every single day. We have our larger free rolls on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I believe. It was Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, the $1,500 free roll, and then the $100 rebuy tournament on, I believe, on Tuesdays and Fridays. So lots of stuff to do here at Poker House Fort Worth. Lots of ways to win more than just what you're playing for. Get rewarded just for playing poker. Nickelodeon going to put in the last of his stack here with what looks like the straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Needing to fade a... No, it doesn't need to fade a spade on the bottom. There's no one with spades here. Richard and DJ do have... DJ does have the flush on the top. So DJ is going to call here for fun. Needs to switch those rivers, though. Nickelodeon's going to scoop this one here with the straight on the bottom, and the 6s on the top. Yeah, he's saying flip those just like I did. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth for DJ's stream. DJ's $1-2 $300 buy-in, no limit game, 1-2 no limit. Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We're going to try to stream the Chipapalooza tournament Friday night, so tune in for that to watch some tournament action here on Poker House Fort Worth live stream. Going to try to bring some tournament action to you guys. This game will carry on the outer table. Plenty of action to be had here on this Wednesday night. If you are listening near the Fort Worth area, come on down to Burleson to Poker House Fort Worth. Come take part in all of our promotions and start adding chips up for that qualifier on August 3rd to get into that $20,000 free roll. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see